Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan and welcome to the weekend. We've got the forecast through the weekend and the outlook for next week as well. And we kick off with the animated wind map. There is a large area of high pressure parked out here over the Chatham Islands and to some degree over the western side of the North Island. Those two high pressure areas working together to keep it pretty settled. Further south though, the nor'west is coming in behind that high pressure zone. That's going to encourage rain on the west coast, but it's also going to encourage higher temperatures up and along southern and eastern parts of New Zealand. Check out the southeast flow coming out of that high. It goes all the way up to the top of Australia and Papua New Guinea. So that is a really big southeasterly. We do get that at this time of the year, and low pressure is hugging the southern part of Australia as it's been doing off and on for the last few months. So rainfall in New Zealand for the next 36 hours, starting from 7 o'clock tonight, Friday. The bulk of the rain where it should be, down in the rainforests of Fiordland, 80 or 90 millimetres of rain coming there in a fairly short period of time. Elsewhere though, the rainfall totals aren't so great, but with that low pressure zone just offshore building up around the South Island, there's a small one you'll see in a second, that might encourage a little bit more rain further up here that's not actually on the map. Now look, here is the next 7 days departure from normal. Basically what this shows is the areas in red are drier than average compared to what is normally recorded at this time of the year, and blue, wetter than average, white, bang on normal. So as you can see, there is this stretch of drier weather around New Zealand, mostly in the North Island and the eastern side of both islands. The west coast and a couple of areas might have closer to normal rainfall as that system moves in from the west, and in the North Island's case, a couple of downpours. But very different for Brisbane and Sydney, Canberra, Adelaide. They're all leaning the other way, wetter than average for the next 7 days ahead. So let's get into the forecast. Here we are on Saturday. We've got this small area of low pressure, which is connected to the low pressure around Sydney. This is one to just keep an eye on. The map we just showed you with the rainfall for New Zealand basically captures what you see right there. But there's a bit of a change as we head in towards Sunday, and that's why I mentioned before the rainfall totals might go up further up the west coast. Also to the north, with low pressure up around the tropics, we've got this big east to southeast flow that we just talked about. So those easterlies will be coming in to northern areas, so the far north Bay of Islands area might get a few showers just as that system passes by and clips you. Now on Sunday, the rainmakers over in Australia get a bit more intense. Could be some thunderstorms up here, anywhere between Brisbane and Sydney. Sydney looks like they'll be getting some decent downpours. And then that small area of low pressure has become a potent little small area of low pressure, 999 hectopascals. So therefore the rain moves further up into the Nelson Ranges and spills over a wee bit into the mountains as well. But otherwise, that little area of low pressure should fall apart. This is Monday. It's basically gone. It sort of tracks over and falls apart. So there could be a few showers around, but it's clearing up on Monday around the New Zealand area. And low pressure though, look at that, 1, 2, 3 lows there, and then another one up there. So it's quite a busy time going into Australia next week. So Tuesday of next week sort of sets up where we're going. Plenty of wet weather along the eastern side of Australia. This is just the beginning of a very wet week or two ahead for the eastern side of Australia, and yet more lows still tracking along the southern side. But for New Zealand, these big high pressure belts are in control. And our final map here shows basically more of the same. You can see it's going to be fairly hot and humid, very hot and humid up there around Townsville. That's an area to keep a close eye on. As we mentioned yesterday, there could be some tropical developments towards the end of the month. So we're just watching that one at the moment. But look, around the New Zealand area, fairly settled next week. This big high pressure belt is the reason why New Zealand's leaning drier than average, but it's also part of the reason why you're getting those rain bands sort of stuck in place around the eastern side of Australia. That's all from me. Have a great weekend. Not around on Monday. We won't be doing a video then, but we're back again on Tuesday covering off the weather across next week. Have a great weekend.